Hi. Workshop update. Yes, from me, Linton, known on ASF or Australian Street Fighters as Aussie 1100. Now, normally I would type all this quite painfully. I'm dyslexic. So, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try being scary in front of a camera. Yay! Getting us started is an update on my Zephyr 1100 project. 10 years I've been talking about it. 5 years it sat in the corner untouched and unloved. But I'm making a bit of a start on it, so we'll go through some of the stuff. First of all, they are not exactly a powerful motor. They say there is no replacement for displacement, so we're going to go from the 1062cc out to a 1321 capacity. So that takes the standard piston of 73.5 and jacks it out to 82 millimeters. So that's 8.5 mil oversize. Now that just doesn't happen on the standard barrels, so the barrels will have to be pressed out. The aluminium block machined, new cast iron sleeves pressed in, bored, reamed to suit the 82 millimeter pistons. The pistons are a bit of a dilemma because apparently they don't make 8.5 millimeter oversized pistons for a Zephyr 1100, and there aren't a huge amount of them floating around here in Australia or pretty much anywhere else other than Japan. The UK got a heap, the America got a good number, and Germany got a heap. A lot of the aftermarket is based either in Japan, where they were manufactured almost unchanged from, I think, late 92, or was it 91? But early 90s through to 2007, the last one rolled off the line in Japan. The rest of the world only got a few years. Australia, I think we got under 2, and I think only 250 to 300 came into the country. I've never actually found the official figure, but that's the figures that I have dug up. Now, I am going to have to use another piston which has the problem in that the piston I'm thinking of has a different deck height. So from the center line of the gudgeon pin through to the top dome of the piston. It's all just to do with compression ratio. I only know that I may have a problem because the only motor that I'd seen have a similar oversize done and was able to gather the information from had modified the deck height of the barrels to suit. Now, whether that was because he had high compression pistons in those oversize piston ranges, you can have more standard compression and you can have high compression. Some of them will also give you a low compression, normally around 7.5. The rest is about 10, 10.5. High compression, 12, 13, whatever they normally are. I'm probably going to keep this under 10.5. It is a twin spark head, which people say handle a little bit more compression. There are only 9-to-1 standard. What is it? Yes, 9-to-1 standard. Australian fuel sucks, and I'm too cheap to pay for premium. Premium is also hideous when it sits, and I don't always get to ride. Well, I should ride more often. I will ride more often. My GSXR 750 Street Fighter gets ridden quite regularly, but I don't know how nice I'm going to build this yet, so we'll see. So anywhere from about 9.5 to about 10.5 tops. So that's 10 to 1, sounds like a good figure. Somewhere around there, I'll have to see. I've never actually built a motor. I have been around it. I've not actually built one. I know the principle, but I've never worked out compression ratios by cc'ing the combustion chambers and all that jazz. Speaking of combustion chambers, the head. Don't quite know what I'm going to do there. There's only a couple of options like cams, valves, and ports. These are called a little bit restrictive. They make really good torque, but not a lot of horsepower. I made 86 horsepower at the wheel and ran a flat 12 second. Not enough really to blow your skirt up, which I think I've already said. If I have, I apologize. The head is probably going to be taken from the 38.5mm inlet valve out to a 40 to 41, whatever the biggest that I can fit without needing to replace the seat. That will require all new blending through the valves into the ports, measuring the ports and doing some basic maths. And there again, I've not actually ever done any of this, so I don't know. But in the small amount of understanding that I have, the ports aren't too bad. It will all come down to what actually is needed when I look into it a bit further. But of course they'll be cleaned up, probably slightly ported, but by the look of it, maybe just an oversized inlet valve, maybe a smaller exhaust. I do not know. This is all out of my territory. We'll see if we get it to breathe a bit better. Cams become an issue. There is a Yoshimura oversized cam. I think 9.5 millimeters, up from the about 8.5 standard. What are they? Standard. Standard, I can't remember. Okay, and I don't have it written down. In the old money, about 375, not too dissimilar to the last of the Unitracks. And yet make a shitload less horsepower. And they're not too dissimilar. They're not the same. In fact, the Zephyr 1100 head is its own entity. It doesn't share anything with any of the other Kawasaki air-cooled 2-valve heads. So that means, like I said, cams become an issue. 9.5 is going to be on the math too small for the inlet valve that I want to use. Two places I found that do aftermarket cams. One in Germany, which is kind of hard to read them, and the other one is a British Megacycle. I'll probably go the Megacycle, built on the standard cores, where they weld them up, grind them back, then hard face them. I'm actually thinking of going the Big Hua, their race one, which is about 440,000 in the old money. So that's up from the Zephyr. Yeah, what did I say about the old money? 370, 375. We'll see what it does. Now we'll go over and have a look at some of the running gear.